Okay, all right, guys. Now, this is going to be a series of videos. This was recorded on LBC, as you can see, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. One of the things that I want to talk about really is the whole thing of how they are treating Prince Harry and Meghan. Yeah. Now they're going to be stripped of their HRH. They're going to be basically they have paid back for the refurbishment of their house, which the taxpayers have been demanding for them to pay back, that they shouldn't receive any type of funding and they want them to pay that back. And allegedly, some people would like for the wedding to be paid back for, because taxpayers paid for or funded part of their wedding. But the reason they had to pull back on that is because they realized it actually made more money through tourism than it costs for the actual wedding. So they kind of kept hush hush and they didn't really push for that. But they're definitely going to have to pay back the £2.5 million, I believe it is, to for the refurbishment of Frogmore. Okay. Now, looking at this, I mean, again, I've just decided, as I did speak about it the other day, I just want to sort of share my views as these talks go on, just how I feel about it, and how some of the British public feels about it. Obviously, how it's being reported by the media, yeah, how the newspapers are dealing with this situation. So there's going to be about 5 or 6 videos, probably possibly a bit more than that actually. But yeah, so if you're outside of the UK, if you're in America, Canada, Australia, then just sit back, tune in. At least you'll get to hear some of the views of some of the callers that will be calling in. And you'll get to see. It's going to be done in various different parts. So the videos won't be too long. They'll be around about 10-15 minutes long, roughly. Okay, but they'll be done in various different parts. So this is obviously part 1. You'll hear part 2, and I'll give my little bits as we go along. Okay, all right. Sit back. We'll get into this right now.
Welcome.
Hi. Well, I'm. When this all came out, I was very like everybody else. I think, oh yes, Meghan. Meghan's done this, Meghan's done that, and excuse me, children in the background.
Bless you.
And now, now that I've kind of had time to process it, I think good for him. If he wants to go away, he was, like I said, he was never going to be one to conform to the royal standards anyway. With his past and his teenage years, if you like.
Yeah, but Charlotte, nobody. I mean, in some ways, that made him even more popular in the country. It made the monarchy more popular, didn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with that. He will be missed. He will be massive. There'll be a massive gap in the monarchy. But I think he's damned if he does, and he's damned if he doesn't. If he doesn't seem to be protecting his wife and child, he'll be slammed for that.
Yes.
And if he does, he's being slammed for that. He kind of can't win. So.
But Charlotte, I just think to myself, his connections, his links with the army, with the military. He served for 10 years, 2 tours of Afghanistan. He seems to. I mean, you see him at the annual festival, poppy fields outside in Westminster, the Abbey. He turns up for cavalry parades. He's Captain General of the Royal Marines. I mean, isn't he going to miss all of that? Isn't that going to be a huge hole in his life? And what's he going to do? I mean, she may go back to acting. It was even suggested.
That's what I've just said to my partner. Maybe Harry's going to go and do his army thing, and she'll go back to acting.
But Charlotte, he can't do his army things on the West Coast. He can't do them. And she can go back to acting, and it's been suggested to me that maybe if they update The Crown, she might play herself, but we know the world that she can go back to, and she's now 100 times more famous than when she was an actress in Suits.
I get
what
that.
What the hell does Harry do in Vancouver and Los Angeles? That's the question I'm asking.
He becomes a house dad.
Oh,
Is he become
do you think so?
A house father? I don't really know what else he can do. We can all joke and laugh and say, can he go and work in Tesco's? Can he go and work in the Co-op? What can he do? What can you have a prince do? I don't. Yeah.
Well, and that's why in this country, yes, and he may have rebelled a bit, but his whole life has been in the royal family. His whole adult life has either been in or associated with the military. He's and he's always been a massively popular figure in this country. And
absolutely. And I think we all watched the downfall of him after Diana, and then the up again. Well, the teenage years in between, and then the up again now with he found love in Meghan. And on one hand, absolutely wonderful. Go and live your best life with your son and your wife. Fine. But, yeah, there is the big side of the other. You like I say, you can't just go and get a job in Tesco.
No, or Walmart.
And because of his, and with the security, exactly, Walmart, because of the security of him, you can't just have him working a normal 9-to-5 job because if he's not going to have the security around him.
No, I think potentially, I think he's a very big loser. Charlotte, thank you so much for your call. Caroline says she's incredibly disappointed in Harry. I think he'll live to regret it, and very soon. Joy says, I wish Harry and his family all the best in their life, wherever it may be. The world is turning. They deserve a good life. Moaners, give them a break. Well, Joy, I think we're going to be less critical of them this Sunday than we were last Sunday, because when you looked at the statement they'd put out, it was clear they wanted to have the best of both worlds. They wanted to have their cake and eat it, and that was not acceptable and made people pretty angry. And I think now that it's done, now that it's clear that, and these Brexit analogies never stop, but that it really is Megxit, it really is a clean break, I think people will in some senses be less critical of Harry, still slightly critical, but less critical. But I think there's going to be real, certainly from me, genuine scepticism about what on earth is he going to do with his life. Let's go to Peggy, who's a new caller to this show from Basildon. Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning, Nigel. Well, I think, personally, there's only one winner, and that is Meghan, a two-bit actress. And look at the riches now at her feet, just through advertising and knowing the right people. I feel so sorry for the Queen and Prince William. The rest, oh my God, she's brought the monarchy really to its knees, I think.
Do you know, Peggy, if I think about my children's age bracket, one of the most appealing things to them about the monarchy has been Prince Harry.
That's right.
And it's kind of, he almost made the monarchy seem cool. The fairy tale wedding, just the fact that he was such an engaging guy, the Invictus Games, even his time as a rebel. And I think Harry, abdicating his responsibilities, I think it does real damage to the royal family, Peggy.
I do. But I think personally, I've always thought he was flaky. I mean, they made the big mistake of their life, the royal family, making him walk behind his mother.
Oh, wasn't that awful?
That was awful.
Yes.
And whether that's a lasting effect, because we've all lost parents, we've lost our kids, we've lost parents. Everyone has had terrible tragedies. But that was a terrible thing they'd done.
Do you know, Peggy?
And they've learned.
Do you know, Peggy, when that was happening, I literally couldn't watch it.
I know, it's terrible.
I just thought, how can you make a 12-year-old do that? I have to say, I'm not a softie at all, but that was one time I thought, wow, this is too much. So Meghan's a big winner. The monarchy's a loser. What about the Queen, Peggy? Is she a winner or a loser?
Well, I think she's done good coming up so quickly and doing that. As you say, she should have done Brexit. But I think, she's on borrowed time like us all in an upper age group. But I really feel sorry for the Queen, and I hope it's all written down, not just the Queen, Charles and William will take over. They cannot start advertising and bringing this country in disrepute.
The responsibilities now on the Queen, Charles and William are absolutely huge. And Peggy, the Queen is only a mere 93 years old.
I know, that's sad.
And her mother lived to 101, and I'm not sure that her mother lived the healthiest of lifestyles, so I've got every hope the Queen's going to be around for a long time, Peggy. Peggy, thank you for your call and for your thoughts. Karen is a new caller to me, and she's from Westminster. Karen, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I think there are different ways to look at the scenario.
Okay.
The Queen came to the throne very young,
Yep.
so she was able to take care of her children and grandchildren throughout. They're totally provided for. Charles will be 90 in 9 years. And then when he takes the throne...
No. Charles is 70, isn't he?
I said in a few, by the time Charles take the throne, Harry's children won't even be in university. Who is going to provide for his children?
Well, I see, Karen, I don't think that's a problem because...
Why not?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because I think out in Los Angeles, out on the west coast of the USA...
No. I'm just saying if they were in the royal family still.
But they could... Yeah, well, if they...
Who would provide for him? Because Charles would be out. William would be on the throne. He is not going to provide for Harry. William's son will be taking over the Duchy of Cornwall. He is not going to provide for Harry.
Karen,
who is going to provide for him and his children?
Karen, this family look after their members. I mean, Princess Anne was it Gatcombe? No, I don't think as members of the royal family they'd find themselves living in penury.
No. But you get it from, okay, the Queen takes care of her children. Harry has not been taken care of. He's paying for Frogmore. The Queen pays for her 4 children.
Yeah, but Karen, Harry is only now paying for Frogmore as part of this new arrangement. Now, I don't think this decision has been taken on the grounds of financial security. I really don't. But I think they're going to become very rich on the West Coast, Karen, don't you?
What's wrong with that? But there's another thing. In 2006, there was an article in Friday's newspaper on the Daily Mail front page where Harry was talking about leaving the royal family back in 2006 on a tour with English. In 2016, he was talking about 10 years afterward before he met Meghan. So what about those times? Why are they blaming Meghan for something he has been thinking about for more than a decade ago?
I saw that commentary, and you know, she's been the Daily Mail reporter on this for years and years and years. Look, we know he's had doubts, but he was born to this, Karen. He's abdicated it. I wish him well, Karen. Thank you. I wish them well. I hope it's a great success for them. You know, at least a decision has been made, and I think the Queen has acted decisively and shown remarkable leadership in a difficult situation. You're listening to the Sunday edition of the Nigel Farage Show.
That was part one. You've heard the callers. I mean, it speaks for itself, isn't it? You know, people are out to blame Meghan for something which, as I said in my last video, right? This is something which Prince Harry wanted to do because he was very concerned for his family and he wanted to protect his wife and his child. Do you know what? I can't wait for Meghan to get pregnant again and just have more kids, man. Because I believe a lot of the British people, the British public and the media are hoping that they break up. They're going to prove the media, these awful media that just come down on them, and some of these British views, how some of us actually have treated them, they're going to prove all of us wrong, you know. And I know for a fact America can't wait to have them. Canada can't wait to have them. In actual fact, I believe, the guys in America would prefer if they actually migrated to Canada. But you never know. I mean, majority of the time they will be in between Canada and America anyway, and they're going to make so much more money. So much more money. But anyway, check out the next one. Catch you guys in a bit.